Why did Zhou Ru later become Mu Bingmei's disciple? What was the real reason behind this unexpected yet meaningful relationship? In Renegade Immortal, the fates of each character are tightly woven together, like threads in a vast celestial tapestry. What may appear at first to be a simple twist of fate often turns out to be the result of countless invisible connections. Some emotional, some spiritual, and others forged in the chaos of the cultivation world. Such is the case with Zhou Ru becoming the disciple of Mu Bingmei, who is none other than the original body of Lu Mei. To understand this development, we must go all the way back to the very beginning, to the moment Zhou Ru was conceived. Her birth wasn't ordinary. It was deeply tied to Wang Lin's undying love for Muwan, a love that spanned lifetimes, battles, and heartbreak. In his relentless quest to revive Muwan, Wang Lin did something extraordinary. He placed his own nascent soul into the womb of Zhou Ru's mother. As a result, Zhou Ru was born carrying the soul of Muwan, making her not just a child but a bridge between life, death, and reincarnation. Initially, Wang Lin treated her more as a vessel than a daughter. To him, she was a tool for resurrection, a means to bring back the woman he loved most. But over time, as he watched her grow, develop, and show her own personality, something changed in his heart. That cold, goal-driven perspective softened. A bond began to form, not just one of fate, but of true affection. She was no longer just a vessel. She became his daughter in every sense of the word. As a cultivator in the God transformation period, Wang Lin had access to immense power and countless cultivation resources. Naturally, he provided Zhou Ru with everything she could possibly need, from high-grade elixirs to rare magical artifacts, from defensive treasures to training opportunities. Nothing was spared. He even arranged for the loyal spirit beast Xiaobai to watch over her and keep her safe. All of this created a unique situation. Zhou Ru, though young and still growing, held a special status in the cultivation world. She wasn't just any ordinary disciple. She was someone backed by one of the strongest cultivators of her era. And this is where Mu Bingmei enters the picture. Mu Bingmei, known as the Holy Maiden of Kungshu in the Alliance Star domain, is a formidable figure. Her cultivation level is incredibly high, her resources are vast, and her influence spans multiple sects and regions. But even more crucially, her life has been touched by Wang Lin's in more ways than one. Through her ninth avatar, Lu Mei, Mu Bingmei had a deeply personal encounter with Wang Lin in the tomb of the Vermilion Bird. That encounter led to the birth of Wang Ping, Wang Lin's son. Though the child came from an avatar, the emotional and karmic ties that connected Mu Bingmei and Wang Lin couldn't be denied. Their fates had become tangled, whether they acknowledged it or not. So when Mu Bingmei noticed Zhou Ru, she didn't see just a talented young girl. She saw someone tied to Wang Lin by blood, fate, and emotion. Taking Zhou Ru as her disciple would strengthen that connection. It was a way for her to stay close to Wang Lin, indirectly perhaps, but meaningfully. Maybe it was out of lingering feelings. Maybe it was out of karmic debt. Or maybe it was simply that deep down, she understood that Wang Lin's path and hers were no longer separate. But it wasn't just about Wang Lin. Zhou Ru herself was a truly rare individual in the cultivation world, not just in talent, but in heart. Her kindness stood out in a world defined by cruelty, ambition, and survival of the fittest. Her compassion wasn't a weakness, it was a strength that influenced everyone around her. Even Muwan, whose soul lived within her, was so moved by Zhou Ru's purity that she abandoned the idea of taking over her body. That kind of sincerity is not something you can fake. It's something felt, something undeniable. And Mu Bingmei saw that too. In Zhou Ru, she saw a disciple worth nurturing, someone with a strong moral compass, a determined will, and the potential to one day surpass even her own legacy. Zhou Ru trained harder than most, not because someone forced her to, but because of her own desire to grow. She didn't want to be a burden to the man she saw as Uncle Wang. She wanted to be strong enough to stand beside him, to earn her place through effort and perseverance. That dedication didn't go unnoticed. In a world where talent is important, yes, but attitude and character are what determine longevity. Zhou Ru had both. She had the right temperament, the right motivation, and the right heart. Mu Bingmei saw all this and recognized that Zhou Ru was not just a good candidate, she was the ideal disciple. But there was still another layer to this decision. From a strategic point of view, Mu Bingmei stood to gain more than just a promising student. Zhou Ru had deep ties to powerful figures and forces in the cultivation world. Not just Wang, but also people like Zhou Wu and others connected to the Suzaku star. By accepting Zhou Ru, Mu Bingmei could solidify alliances, expand her influence, and enhance her standing in the delicate power structure of the immortal world. Cultivation is not just about spiritual power, it's about influence, networks, and legacy. And Zhou Ru offered all of that. Moreover, Mu Bingmei, like many high-level cultivators, likely had a desire to pass on her legacy, to leave behind not just memories but a living successor, someone who could carry her teachings, protect her values, and extend her sect's glory into the future. Zhou Ru met all these expectations and more. So when all these factors came together, the emotional ties, the strategic benefits, the personal admiration, and the karmic entanglements, the decision became clear. Zhou Ru would become her disciple. It wasn't a random choice. It wasn't an act of pity. It was the natural result of intertwined fates, mutual respect, and the subtle but powerful influence of love and destiny. In conclusion, Zhou Ru becoming Mu Bingmei's disciple was never just a matter of chance. It was a story written in the stars long before either of them realized it. A story born from sacrifice, love, and the never-ending struggle of cultivation. What are your thoughts on this relationship? Do you believe it was destined, or was it shaped by each character's choices along the way? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Renegade Immortal, make sure to follow for more content just like this. Until next time, keep cultivating and stay enlightened.